Hello guys, welcome to another tutorial for a cliff material. This time I will be showing you how to make this reddish, sort of a Mars looking cliff, or maybe some red rock looking cliff. And as always, if you want, there will be a download link for free in the description, so make sure to check it out if you want to follow along that way. So let's start. So how do we make the base shape? Is basically we take a polygon and blend it with cells 1, kind of a close-up, and we just multiply it to get some sort of cracks going. We get a gradient and transform it, just kind of make the gradient a bit more interesting, and we apply it to the polygon. Now we're breaking up the edges with multi-directional warp grayscale, and we're doing that using Crystal 1 map. After that, we just kind of bring out the white values with levels, and then we do angle variation. And this is just a cube 3D. You can probably do it differently. This is just like a fun way of doing it. And we bring out some angles. After that, we break it up directionally. So we just use a Crystal 1. Go through the transformation 2D, we stretch it really far, and then slow blur grayscale on low intensity. Then we warp it slightly with Berlin noise, just to get a little bit of breaking up going on here. And then now we add another directional noise, which is really subtle, and for that we use Crystal 2, directional blur, transform 2D like we did back there, and we blur it a little bit, go into levels to get to kind of bring out the white values but also bring out the black ones, and we blend it together with a really low opacity, and then we blend it. So as you can see here, we have some white not only on the polygon but outside as well, so we blend it like this so we don't get any of those. And then now we are making the main shape. So for this we are using 2 tile samplers. They're pretty much the same with different random seeds, and we are blending them together on overlay. So you don't need to do this, but I like it because it adds a bit more variation to it. And after that we are going to sort of extrude this shape. So how we do that is we take this mask and blend it with this. So basically we do shadows, auto levels, so we kind of get some values going down there, and then quantize grayscale. We do an edge detect real quick there, bevel it, and slow blur grayscale with clouds too. And that gets a very weird looking shape, and we blend it on multiply. And let me show you what it does. It sort of brings out the shapes, as you can see. So here the shapes are sort of all normal, but here it kind of brings them up. And now we use the extrusion of the shapes, and we are using non-uniform directional warp grayscale. And you can see how they sort of extrude outwards, and we can control this extrusion by controlling this parameter here. And basically these trail parameters. But be careful with this, you can get a bit more, like a bit weirdly extruded shape. And after that we've got the main shape going, so this is like the completely main shape. And now we do the usual breakup of the edges, just slightly, and auto levels to get the differences in color. Then we do more edge breakup with, again, multi-directional warp grayscale with moisture noise. And then we add these scratches, which are made from cells and clouds. And we do a slow blur with those two, a directional warp, and invert it, so we get these sort of stuff. And then we subtract from the original mask with low opacity. And after that, to make the shapes pop out, we do shadows and invert grayscale, and we do it, as you can see, like that, and it really brings out the edges. As like we did something similar over here, but this is a bit more for basically almost all the shapes. And now we do actual scratches, like the small ones. As you can see, we do a scratches generator, we bevel them, and then we blend them with a really scaled up Berlin noise, so we don't get them everywhere. You see how they're all over the place here, and here they're not all over the place. And we blend them with subtract. It's a very subtle thing, but it does show up, as you can see. Now we do the spots, and for that we just use dirt 3 with levels to bring out a smaller amount of white values, and then bevel it to make it smaller, and then we subtract it with really low intensity. And this is also very subtle, but it is there. Now we do the surface noise, and the surface noise, I don't know how this got here, but we use a moisture noise with overlay and blend it over together. So this surface noise is more or less for the coloring. This will be our height map, as you can see here. So but you can use any, like you can experiment with these, but we will be using this mask a lot as well. So to get into color, what we are doing is basically getting it into ambient occlusion, like the default values for it, and blending it in together. So we don't get the full ambient occlusion, but we sort of get variations. Then we blend them with the fractal sum base to get even more sort of grains all over there, as you can see. So it's grainy and it's very how do I say this? Well, it's noisy, yeah. And after that we use a gradient map, a really simple one. And I did an HSL just to like bring out some values a bit. And here we do HSL and levels, so we can get a brighter variation and a darker variation. And here we blend them in together, and here it looks like a complete mess, but it isn't that much of a mess. So basically we get this this mask here, and get it into get slope. This is a custom node, but you can get it anywhere. I will include it in the material. And we blend it in with this mask here, and then we do a histogram scan, and this controls, well, the level of detail, and you can play around with this, but this I like this kind of variations. After that we create again a lighter version of this and blend it together with an original one. And we use the ambient occlusion from this mask, and we blend it in. Actually, we don't blend it, it's a directional warp with the grunge mask, so you can see it sort of gets the shape of the thing. And here we blend them in together like that. And here we add a little bit of dirt, but the main thing is in this dirt node. So how we make this is we get ambient occlusion, curvature, and normal, and all of this is derived from this original one. And we get the dirt node, which is an amazing node, and it really helps a lot with the coloring and whatnot. And see how it changed from this to this, and how it really gets the good values out. After that, I wanted to add a bit more color to the whole thing, as you can see. So what I did here is I blended in a fractal sum and dirt with subtract, and put it into a gradient map of somewhat similar colors to the actual rock. And then I did HSL on both of them, so I can get some variation going like this. And this is the opacity mask, this grunge map 13. And then we use that as one color input and the original mask as the other one. And for the opacity mask, what I use here is Clouds 1 SLs 1 with slow blur, and then I subtract it with grunge map, and it gets these really nice opacity masks, as you can see. So It is a bit subtle, but it does bring out, does kind of break out with color and looks very nice. And we are reaching the end of the albedo. So what we're doing here is just sharpening the looks, and we need our normal map here, and make sure this normal map matches this the end normal map. I just used another one here for convenience. So basically we are getting a normal map into a curvature smooth, but this curvature smooth is on OpenGL, and then we're just getting into a gradient map, so we can blend them in as color, and we blend it on add sub on some lower values, and we do the same thing from normal map to curvature subble on OpenGL, gradient map just so it converts to color input, and here add sub with a low value. And as you can see these and these, they look way sharper, and that really gives it the good look. So this we will plug into the albedo, and now we need to deal with the roughness map. So what we do with the roughness map is do a grayscale conversion, and we do a levels, and this levels is basically controlling what we want on a rock. So basically we can control how shiny we want the rock to be, or how rough we want the rock to be. And after that we blend it on subtract with the get slope, and the get slope is again from this mask here. And the get slope is an amazing node. Just it gets these very natural elements of our shapes, and we blend them in together, subtract them actually, and we use another levels for also, I want to control the values even a bit more, and we control here also how rough we want the rock to be. And that's it for the roughness map. And here the height map, I actually ended up putting the one with the surface noise, but you feel free to experiment with that. It's up to you. It's really it is optional completely. And after that I'm just doing an ambient occlusion here, and it's just a simple ambient occlusion, nothing special to it, and we're just putting it in. We can maybe even lower the values of the ambient occlusion, but I think it's looking very nice here. So yeah, basically that's it. If you like the video, leave a like, and if you want to see more, so feel free to subscribe, and have a wonderful day. See ya.